Kenobi's out now. Kenobi's out now. We've been waiting for that for a long time. When you watch first episode, I was in line. I was waiting so much on last Friday because I knew it was popping out 3 in the morning. Well, it was supposed to pop out at 3 in the morning. And then at 1 in the morning, I opened my Disney Plus just to see if there's a trailer or something. And bam, the episodes were there already. Like,
Yeah,
I saw them one hour too late. And my life was destroyed.
That's how you know you can't trust the media sources.
Nope.
Or all of them, at least.
What do you guys think of the first episode? I think we're going to do like 15, 20 minutes per episode. Well, unless we have more or less to say. 2. Well, I'm going to let you guys go first because I have a lot to say about this one. Were you hyped? Were you super happy to watch it?
I'm assuming that means I go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Well, you always go.
Okay. So I'm trying to recollect all that happened in that episode. I loved it. I remember coming out of the feeling like I get them first 2 mixed up because I feel like I didn't pause in between. It was just like
I've been
straight through. So they're kind of meshing together for me. But I remember being like, damn, this is a good show. Rather than that was like a key show episode for me because it was make or break, and they started off as strong as they started off with Bad Batch, and that's the only part that scares me now is they started off exactly how they started off Bad Batch almost.
Are they gonna have to do a Order 66 scene at the beginning of every new show now, right?
Nah, but it does make it better. It does make it so much better for me. In my little rankings of likiness, it makes the show that much better when you give me Order 66 content. And it's just my favorite part of Star Wars. I don't know why. There's something about it. It's just like it's probably the biggest moment in Star Wars other than Skywalker family crap. Honestly, I think it's bigger than that. Like, that changes the course of literally everything. It's the only reason why things happen. But anyways, that's besides the point. I'm still scared that they're gonna get it a little bit worse as we go on, like Bad Batch does, and then it just becomes like bland.
It's just 6 episodes, so it's.
I know.
don't think they have the time to become bland.
Yeah, but you never know what episode 4 or 5 are gonna be like.
How you felt about the first thing we saw? First thing I started the episode, and we are treated to a recap of the prequels, and somehow I've seen those movies thousands of times, and just that recap, it just gives me like grinding, big smile just from here to here, and I was what? Yes, finally, this is Star Wars, and it's just a fucking recap. I don't know. I think it was needed after all the crap we've had recently. Mando is pretty good. It's a great show. Doesn't feel like Star Wars. I love it, but it doesn't feel like Star Wars. This is what I needed. This recap, and then we start with the attack on the temple right away. Oh, I was so happy. I've watched it 3 times already. So I think the recap was necessary. Oh, but Agathon, you didn't say a single. I'm so sorry. I'm really jumping everywhere.
No, you're fine. I actually it cut out for all of Moose's stuff, so I have no idea what he said. So if I repeat anything, sorry. But the first episode I thought was I completely agree with you, Sparks. This is Star Wars. This just brings everything right back. It's a character we know, we love. Like, what has he been up to? Like, his life is hell. He disconnected himself from the Force, basically, and how is he able to survive? And I think it's just so incredible to see Ewan McGregor take on this character who basically lost everything and whose sole purpose right now is just to protect Luke. Like, that's it. And it made me think of something. So I don't know how much you guys know about Star Wars history, like the screenplays and Legend canon. But Legend canon had Obi-Wan Kenobi being Owen Lars's brother. So the fact to see them two together here, and then and this kind of does talk a little bit about the third episode, which I'll go back to, where he talks about his family.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the original screenplay, Ben, Obi-Wan Kenobi, was supposed to be Owen Lars's brother. So
I remember in a book that Obi-Wan had a brother called Owen. I always thought it was a different Owen, and just a coincidence. I thought it was the same.
yeah, it's the same one. They do later talk about him. I think in new canon stuff, like they talk about him having a brother Owen, but it's not Owen Lars. But I still found that little interesting. From episode 1 and then episode 3 in this, or part 3, where they talk about, which we can go back to again when we talk about the third one. But I love that we left Tatooine on the end. Like, just one episode. We're on Tatooine and we're done.
That's all we need.
And I know we'll go back, but we've already seen more beautiful planets than we saw in all of frickin' Book of Boba Fett. So
Yep.
I don't know, like that first episode just grabbed hold, and I was watching it with 3 other people, and we were all just like glued to the TV, just super interested in what was going on, and such a solid first episode.
What do you think about the Jawa stealing Obi-Wan's stuff and just sending it back to him? All like,
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because that's totally what they do.
Yeah, I love the Jawa content.
Yeah.
That was
Cleaning
really
costs
cool.
extra.
Yeah.
And of course, Obi-Wan's not gonna make a deal about it.
I also like the repetitive scenes of him slicing that meat and putting it in his pocket. I don't know why, but just something about that, like, daily routine.
Yeah.
And passing of time, and just like, I'm waiting for him to get a slap on the wrist from that, but yeah. I don't
Probably
know.
not, because they're off planet. It had me wonder for a while, and that's Star Wars. So, but I just thought at this moment, when the shift ends, they leave all the meats on the table in the desert with no refrigeration on anything, and is the meat spending all this time like in the sun? It's just going bad, or
Oh, it's aging. You know, it's drying out. It's just turning
just
into
throw some
jerky.
Throw some salt on it.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
okay. Alicia remembers the Owen being Obi-Wan's brother as well, so I think you're up to something. Speaking of Owen, I don't remember us seeing, because they have the same actor from the prequels. When most of the actor come back, I say most. I think almost all of them, right? We have Jamie Smiths. We have this guy. Owen was never. Well, we don't really see Owen, because I confuse him with the guy who rescues Shmi, and that's not Owen. That's Owen's father, right?
That's Owen's father.
Yeah. Owen's was him. Was he see like for like half a second at the end, or?
He was in episode 2, and he was at the end of episode 3.
Because
Yeah.
Owen actor didn't leave me a mark on the prequel. I just said, oh, that's Owen, cool. This guy can act. These scenes where him and Obi-Wan were tense. They were very well acted, and it was awesome. And I was just looking at these two. I said, can the show just be about these two bickering? They're so good together.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. They're both just amazing actors. I think Joel Edgerton plays Owen Lars, and he is just, there's so many things that I've seen him in that he's just phenomenal. Like, he was in Warrior opposite Tom Hardy, and I absolutely love that film. It's a fighting film, but it's also very has a lot of drama and just emotional scenes. So yeah, it's just
When
great
he
actors
says,
all around.
Jedi are vermin, and on my farm, we exterminate vermin. It really felt it. And obviously,
Yeah.
Owen doesn't like Jedi, so he was not very much lying too much to Reva, but I don't know. I really felt it.
Yeah, I could feel the tension of him having like this, not necessarily love-hate, but kind of has to deal with /hate relationship with Jedi, because obviously he doesn't want Obi-Wan Kenobi around, but not bad enough to be like, there he is, go get him.
And he's raising one. And he knows.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I like what they did with Owen, and I like how much time they gave him. And I also like how much of the trailers they hit in the first 2 episodes.
Right? I
They
think
hit a lot of the trailer, and it made me feel like, okay, they didn't spoil the entire season.
Yeah.
Because everyone thought what's Grand Inquisitor was gonna be
Well,
hot
well,
shit.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk more about this. I'm not
We
a
will.
big Rebel watcher. I'm starting to watch Rebel right now, but the Inquisitor in Rebel has obviously a very more long face, to the
Yeah.
point where we were wondering for a long time if it's the same in Grand Inquisitor, and it has to be, right? He has the same race, the exact same tattoos, the thing on his ear. So it's
Yeah. It's definitely the same. I guess Star Wars doesn't really care to hit it accurate compared to the TV shows because Cad Bane, Ahsoka, now Grand Inquisitor, they all look like a little wonky to me. Not like wonky like where it's like I can't watch this. It's just like they almost seem like two different people. But I guess it's just at the end of the day it's just art style. You can't really take all art style to live action because like let's say Count Dooku. Have you seen those photos of an edited Count Dooku? What he would look like with the Clone Wars art style? So if you haven't, look it up. So that's like a good example. So I'm not mad about it. Just I also don't really know the Grand Inquisitor from Rebels. 'Cause it's been such a long time since I watched that. Um, so yeah.
one thing
Yeah,
that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm based on episode 2 though. I'm starting to think those are not the same.
We're gonna come
I think
back to
they are.
that, but I think they are.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I noticed that I so little nitpicks with these episodes, but I have something that's been bothering me a little bit, and I wanted to know if you guys noticed. At the beginning of the show, when we have this scene of Coruscant, when Anakin storms in the Jedi Temple with the 501st, did you notice the colors of the blue lightsabers the Jedi are having? Am I the only one who's been annoyed? They're not blue. They're like teal or cyan. It looks like they got the colors so wrong. And maybe the way that they're filming now, they're filming with like practical lightsabers that actually lies. They're not adding in post-production. But I've made a little edit on my own just for fun, and I've compared some scenes with the original colors of the lightsabers from the prequel, which were always a little blue / a little purple to me, which was the perfect shade of blue. And in this scene, it just even the green tone, something about them that doesn't feel good to me. Did you guys notice, or am I just being nitpicky?
I didn't notice.
I think you're being nitpicky.
Boom.
Okay. Boom. Okay. Fine.
I'm not calling you nitpicky, but I did not notice that. Maybe you'd probably be like technically right if it's like even slightly noticeable, but I didn't notice. Are you talking about like the first Order 66 scenes where
Well, the beginning, yes.
nameless Jedi with younglings fights off people?
And she was a badass. Did you see how she
Yeah.
fought?
Yeah. You know, it was cool because I like the only thing that bothers me with Revenge of the Sith is how easy some Jedi die. And not even just Revenge of the Sith, but Attack the Clones as well. Just like, oh, 2 pistol shots. Bam, bam. Okay. I guess all Jedi aren't good in general, because I feel like the first thing you learn, especially with how Obi-Wan is training Luke with freaking box of scraps,
Is to block.
you block bullets.
Yes.
That's like the first thing you learn with the lightsaber is you just block
Well,
simple shots.
Yeah, but to be fair, these people weren't trained for war, and they're not exactly all trained to be able to know when their teammates are going to shoot them in the back.
Well, I think they
Well, I'm not
should,
saying- I'm-
because they have
okay.
that thing called the Force, which is supposed to guide them and warn them. It's kind of some kind of Spidey sense,
It's not-
isn't it?
It's not the Spidey sense. And that's only for certain Jedis can kind of get that ability and have that battle awareness.
Well, what I mean, the
go
example I
ahead.
mean is Attack of the Clones. That one weird looking ass Jedi that goes up to the top near Jango, and Jango just shoots him like twice, and he falls off a cliff. Doesn't even hit anything with his lightsaber. You're going into a battle. You know what he knows what he's getting himself into, and then he gets shot twice, maybe 3 times, without blocking a single bullet. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so it's not really a big issue at all. I'm
Well,
not trying to make anything
it's
a
like
bigger deal than it is.
it's like Mundi in the episode 3 when you have the scenes of the clones turning on each other. He's like leading a battalion of clones. He has a lightsaber. There's 6 clones behind him, and then you just look at them, and then they point their gun to him. It like there's like 3 seconds where he could have reacted and just stays there and does nothing, and then just got and gets shot and he dies.
I like that one better, just because I'm pretty sure he blocked a couple. If not, he tried fighting it off a little bit, I guess. The one I was mentioning just looks so cheesy to me, but I actually like that scene because I like the shot on the feet stopping and his like look of like what the hell is going on. But anyways, there was a lot more fighting off before death. So it was cool. I like that realistic touch.
We get a child actress to play Leia, which apparently will play a big role in this season. And damn, the actress is good. Usually child actors, they just suck and they ruin everything. This actress, I totally believe as young Leia and also as Padme's. I believe her as Leia and also as Padme's. I just have sister child. It works so good. You guys got annoyed with it or?
No, I think she's fantastic.
She is.
Yeah, I really like this touch of like not just like some shy little kid, but Obi-Wan says exactly what I'm thinking. Like, how old are you? Type thing. And she just acts so much above her age. And I feel like women always do. Like that's a stereotype, is boys just don't grow up as fast. I don't know. That's always been a stereotype as me growing up.
And I think definitely setting too, as you know, she has pretty important parents, so she's kind of pushed to be better educated and go to all these things so she can become a senator, which she does. She becomes one of the youngest senators, and 19 she becomes a senator, and then you have Luke. You just see him and he's just pod racing with garbage. So
maybe
Leia
he was
was
practicing
really
to go to Tashi Station.
maybe that was it.
But it's making me like Leia more because now that there's more development rather than just I don't know.
I wanted
before.
I wanted to see what you were gonna say because you mentioned in the past that Leia is one of the characters you enjoy less than the others in Star Wars.
Yeah, she just didn't really seem super important to me, like, because they don't really. I know this grinds gears. But from my point of view, she never seemed like what they never gave me a reason to care about her, like from watching A New Hope, and they don't.
I think they gave you plenty of reasons. They just didn't draw it in crayon for you.
Well, sometimes when you watch it when you're drawing with crayons, because I probably was, it just never got attached. So.
By the way, before we go ahead, I'm just gonna say thank you, Dude Man OG. Thank you so much for the raid with 10 people. That's awesome. We are now doing a live review of Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're gonna review tonight episode 1, 2, or 3. Just a friendly heads up to everyone who just came into the stream. This is a spoiler full review. So if you have not seen the show, I would recommend you let the tab open, but you don't listen to what we have to say, because we would not want to be here spoiling you. That's what I thought it was a good idea to just do a little stop for the raid. Dude, man, thank you so much, and I hope you had an incredible stream, and I will do a little shout out here. If you don't know Dude, man, what are you doing with your life? Dude, man is awesome. It was playing my Master's Moron. Okay, that's I like the name of this game. Never heard of it. So feel free to share with us if you've watched Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. This new series on Disney Plus. So far, we seem to be pretty stoked, pretty hyped about it, despite what Moose's face is telling right now.
I have a wrestling bitch face. Don't come at me.
So yeah, Sportiful, feel free to say everything you think about the show in the chat. And we were talking right now about the inclusion. I think we've give you enough time to leave if you don't want to be spoiled. New roguelike that came out today. Oh, I'm gonna have a look at that, dude, man, because I love these games. So, Baby Leia. Anything else to say about the little Leia?
like the character development, and she doesn't annoy me like a child might. So, the running scene though, let's talk about that shit. That was
Oh,
terrible.
yeah, that was
My
that was
God,
weird.
there's always like a couple in this show, not always, but like there's just a couple little things in this show, and I'll sum them all up at the end once we talk about episode 3. But I'm just letting you know right now, that running scene is one of them where it's just like, the hell, does this not look stupid?
I wondered if it was made on purpose, because she's at some point Leia's being chased by some weird aliens into the wood, and it's way too much on the nose that the two Porcelain are very bad, and they just run right face first into 3. They just trip on their own foot, and just so bad that at some point I wondered to myself, is it on purpose a way to show that they are out of their element? Because one of them has a fish face. And is it a way to show us that these aliens don't do well in the wood? So that's why they're just tripping. So one is just running, and then there's a branch tree, and instead of just moving the branch, they just go, and they just face plant into the branch without doing anything. That was so ridiculous. I think it had to be there for a reason, right?
No.
No?
I couldn't believe that 3 grown adults couldn't catch her. You know,
Like,
even
kids are
running
not
at full.
fast.
She has a
What's
Captain
that?
Jack Sparrow
It's like-
run.
Kids are not fast.
They're not at that age. No.
Mm.
Especially
So,
she was
like,
jogging. She was not running.
They should have easily been able to just grab her and go, but they had to extend that out so they could see a guard be murdered.
Yeah, especially since it's like they're standing there and she stumbles upon them. Rather than if you were actually kidnapping a child, I highly doubt that there'd be like any dialogue, and it would probably just be running at you before you even stop, or right as
Yeah.
you stop. So it was just weird, and that's the biggest part of the show I don't like, and that's pretty good
And-
because it's so small.
For being such a smart character, though, it's pretty stupid of her to just walk right up to this strange man standing in their gardens.
Yeah,
Well,
that's when you can
maybe
just be like, well, she's 10, so
no, maybe she's a Red Hot Chili Pepper fan and she wanted an autograph.
It's true. That is true.
Because that's Sting, the bass. Flea. Sting. That's Flea, the bassman from Red Hot Chili Pepper, playing that role. Sting.
Sting. This is the police.
Yes.
He's got a message in the bottle for Leia.
You said that, and I like almost spit my drink out. It's like, fuck, what did you just say?
Dude, Sting is aging like wine. I don't
you,
know
dude,
if
man.
I don't know if you see Sting, but I like Sting.
Hey, Hellish says she had a Captain Jack Sparrow run, which I can see. Which I
Oh,
can
the dude
totally see.
behind her had a Captain Jack Sparrow run, which good W, Johnny Depp, good W.
Yeah.
Artemis,
True.
thanks for the lurk. Anything else about episode 1 that we like? Did you like that we saw these stupid helicopter lightsabers again in live action? Does it bother you?
Actually, I kind of like the Inquisitors now. Not like I'm so glad they're here. I'd rather without them, but like they're here. I'm not getting rid of them. So I'm kind of enjoying that they're just the little henchmen to Darth Vader and the Emperor. It doesn't make much sense when you think of Rule of Two
Yeah.
rules, but
That's why
it's
I've always hated the
they're-
concept of the Inquisitors, but now that I know they're here to stay,
Well, they're not Sith. That's the big distinguisher. There can only be 2 Sith.
yeah.
Lords.
I think of them
So-
more as like swordsmen.
They're
Yeah.
most of them are Jedi turned to the dark side to kind of just be this policing force.
Right.
I actually watched a video before we started because I'm like, okay, I don't remember all of these Inquisitors. Like, where are they here and there? So I just watched a video that kind of gave me a synopsis back from like, Rebels where they were introduced. And then you have the Jedi Fallen Order game where you had a couple other brothers and sisters introduced. So there's a lot of them.
Yeah, see, I really like the sister from, I think, Seventh Sister or something like that from the Jedi Fallen Order game.
Yeah.
Thriller.
I actually really like her. She was cool. So that's why it's Inquisitors like her that I'm like, okay. I'm liking them a little bit more. And as long as they stay super scared and they don't do anything that's as powerful as Darth Vader, I'm chill with them existing, I guess.
What do you think of that Jedi that just ambushed Obi-Wan in the night in the desert, trying to say, dude, I need your help, and Obi-Wan's just trying to say, get the fuck away, go away, go away, and he's not getting the hint at all, and it was just, get the fuck out, I don't want to see you, and then the guy just keeps insisting.
If he's that stupid, how did he survive for 10 years?
I know.
Like, he doesn't look like he's one that learned from all of this. That was like such an oddball character for us to introduce.
Yeah,
like if this was like 1 year after, I could understand someone like that being like that. But it's 10 years. Like, if someone was still acting like he would have been dead long ago.
Yeah, that was another moment that I just did not like about this show. I'm like, well, okay, what are the chances this dude's running in the middle of the desert at night and he recognizes Obi-Wan Kenobi immediately without hesitating?
Well, he said that he saw him at the market and followed. That was how he started the conversation. So it's not like they just found each other in the middle of the desert. He followed Obi-Wan.
Okay, that makes me okay. I can sleep now.
Yeah.
Sweet. Because I was like, what the hell? This is stupid. But okay, that's better, much better.
I liked I didn't like, but no, I loved that look on Ewan McGregor's face when he looks up at the dead Jedi. Like, you have this look of both defeat and acceptance. Like, this is the world we live. He gave him all the advice that he could have.
Yeah.
And the guy still ended up dead.
Ewan's acting has been so far phenomenal. On his own, he's selling the show. I mean, almost everyone in the show has been extremely good, which is something we don't always see in Star Wars. And it's been a treat so far. Ewan especially. The face of the guy who's he does his accent, he does everything.
But does it seem a little bit different to you?
I mean,
it seems like, yeah, it seems slightly different than
you mean the
episode
look,
3.
The look, well, the guy's has aged 10 years, and his face has gone just a little bit rounder, a bit.
Well, no, I'm not. I meant just the accent of his voice. Like, I think he is a little bit less. I don't know. There's something different.
Well, he did say
it
took him a while to find the Obi-Wan again.
Yeah. And that's the only, like, I'm not even saying it's a flaw. I'm just like, I could tell time has passed and it's been a hot minute, because if you were to, like, listen side by side of his voice in episode 3 versus now, it almost sounds more, whatever he is. Irish, Scottish, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
The accent didn't no, it was not a problem to me. And first,
it was not an issue. Yeah.
But I mean, not an issue. I didn't notice it. What I noticed is that his face has changed with time. So obviously he's older now, so his face is a bit more round. But it fits with the character too. And it was first time we saw him cutting the meat. It was to the point that we saw him from behind, and I did not recognize him right away. And I said, "Who's this guy cutting meat? It must be Obi-Wan, because he's heavily featured on the screen." But then we're gonna come out to it later. In episode 3, he looks so much like him. It looks like there's so many time that passed between the filming of the episode and the guy lost weight. I don't know. Loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like in the show, it's 10 years, but in real life, like, it was 17 years.
Yeah.
Since he's played the character. So
that's another reason why I like the show, is it's pretty realistic on the aging of this character, which is, and, like, you know, I'm so glad they could consistently stay with this actor to do this rather than pull a Han Solo thing. And one of the weirdest things with Obi-Wan for me is it's always hard for me to imagine Ewan McGregor turning into Alec Guinness, and I'm hoping that there's some more connection, because they don't look anything alike to me.
I disagree on that one.
I do as well.
They look nothing alike to me.
Well, one is like 2,000 years old, and one was 25 when he was in the first movie. So
I know, but, like, even looking at pictures of my grandpa when he was like 30 versus now,
especially in the first episode of Obi-Wan, when he has, like I said, big rounder face, bigger beard. I saw him. I saw Alec Guinness. I saw him without just see the white hair or white beard. I don't know.
I don't know. To me,
this one.
To me, they haven't. I feel like they're almost like two different people. Like in my head, I know that. I'm not saying they are. I mean, in my head, it's connected, but they just don't look like each other to me yet. And I understand people change while they age. I'm not
Yeah.
an idiot saying that they don't, but I it's not an issue. It's just always been like a weird thing for me where I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Let's bring the topic of the one thing people seem to have hated that we talked about before. What do you think about Riva?
I don't mind her. She's not like a super interesting character to me. She just wants one thing, and
I think I know why. Do you know why she's so obsessed with Obi-Wan?
yeah, because she's done her homework. She's researched why Obi-Wan's death is important to Darth Vader, and I think she just is seeking validation from Darth Vader. And you could see that in, I think, in episode 2, maybe 3, on the other dudes, the other Inquisitor, Yellow Inquisitor's face, where he was like, "Oh, I told Darth Vader before you even did," and then she's just like, "Oh, don't fuck with me, because you're gonna get what's coming to you." But anyways, I don't mind Reva at all. I just don't think she's super interesting. She's just like your generic evil.
I don't. I think she is right now. There's been a few theories that I don't want to say I've thought of it myself, but it came out of some of my YouTube videos, and I was thinking of it. This Order 66 scene that we have at the beginning has to be there for some reason, obviously, story-wise. There's otherwise it's just stupid to just plop this there like for the fans if it has nothing to do with the story. Either there's two options. We're gonna see a longer version of it with Aiden reprising the roles.
Yeah,
but I think because at first I saw the little guy, the little Jedi that we see that just goes talk to Obi-Wan in the desert and gets killed. I thought he was one of the younglings at the beginning that got saved. But now I've seen it because I did an edit of it, and I've kept watching it, editing, and I think Reva is one of them, and that's why she's angry, because she got attacked, and that's why she would know Anakin, because probably heard one clone saying Master Vader, Lord Vader, and she no, that's Anakin. I know this guy. He's like one of the big members of the Order. So if you watch carefully, one of the little younglings at the beginning clearly is a person of color.
Yeah, but
which would indicate to me that
they're
probably
like 8. Which means she'd have to be like 18.
Yeah.
And she looks like she's 25. I don't know. That's my only like thing where I'm like, I don't know. She looks like she might be 25, and if they wanted an 18-year-old, they'd probably get someone that looks more like me. I do not look like 25. I look like I'm 17. I don't know. That's just how I feel.
So, just to clarify, did we move on to episode 2? Because I got cut out again.
No,
Yes.
We're still talking about Reva as a whole.
Oh.
In my head, I'm kind of just meshing episode 1 and 2 together since I watched them like back to back.
Same. No, but episode 1 ends when Obi-Wan gets into transport and he leaves the planet. Leia gets captured, and it ends there.
Mm-hmm.